Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestational coach on the internet. Reason why is I spend the most amount of time on each and every single individual that comes into my coaching. I mainly coach with emails and audios. I also now have included packages that consist of phone calls. So this is something new, and I am starting to include some things on my website. The link is below to my website. You can check it out. And I will explain the difference. So initially, my coaching, the idea behind the coaching was that people will exchange audios with me. And this is two different types of personalities. So let me back up a second. In the past, I was coaching people outside of YouTube by telephone calls only. And then I realized that I could also coach people by audio whenever they're not immediately available. And then I realized that it's very useful to compose your thoughts, to think about what you're going to say. And sometimes you just don't know what's going to come out of you. It's a mini confession, if you will. And so a lot of things come out in audios in my practice and my coaching that normally would not. It's an amazing thing that happens when people record audios of themselves. And they're thinking about what they're going to say, or they're just going with the flow, and who knows what's going to come up. And so my coaching consists of audios and emails primarily, right? This is for the type of personality and for the type of coaching, which quite frankly necessitates more of my time, because each audio, which in my coaching has to be maximum 20 minutes, right? You can go over 1 minute or two, okay, maximum 3 before I spank you. Just kidding. But essentially it has to be like maximum 20 minutes. Why? Because I listen to it more than once. Everybody's different. Everybody talks different. I need to hear every word you say, how you say it, what you choose to say. And I need to take extensive notes. All right. So my notes are like 3 or 4 pages minimum of each audio, sometimes as many as 5, front and back, mind you. And so I want to cover everything extensively so that I can help you best. There's just something about, again, the composition of an audio that demands your focus, demands focusing on certain events. We go through childhood, adolescence, college years, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your parents, this and that. It helps you to focus, to identify what it is you need to work on. It's a very efficient style of coaching. So we talk 2 to 3 times per week this way, exchanging audios. So you have a package for this, which is a monthly unlimited of unlimited audios. This doesn't mean you can send unlimited audios at once. You send one audio at a time, and then I respond, and we go like this. Okay, there's also a 2-week unlimited. I usually recommend, like I always say in all of my audios/videos, to spend at least 2 to 3 months with me for the ultimate result. Okay, that's just, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not here selling bubblegum popcorn. I'm here selling the truth. All right, so I'm gonna try to help you. If you are booking the 2-week unlimited, I'm going to try my best to give you my, best perspective, best analysis, this and that. But ultimately, to really, really do this work 100%, I really recommend spending 2 to 3 months with me. I just really do. Okay, so there's another course package rather the monthly unlimited complete, which I just discounted a little bit on my website. Basically what this is just it's not just audios and emails, but it has unlimited phone calls. Now, unlimited doesn't mean every day. It could be every other day, but we need to schedule those. We need to have like a time slot. Okay. Now, again, the conversations with me, I prefer they be recorded, simply because, again, for the sake of my notes. Okay, if I'm really doing this correctly, I need to take extensive notes. So I record the audio. It's about an hour long. Often, all the time, I go over and then I re-listen to it afterwards. Okay, and so that's the only reason. And not really substantially a lot more money, but it's a lot more money because of that, because it's an hour long audio, and I need to go through it and then, take notes and this and that. Okay, so then I have like the coaching for the coaches, also whoever wants to become a coach like myself, the private seminar. Now, the new stuff is what I wanted to cover. So I've added 5 phone calls package. So the difference between the phone calls and the unlimited package, right, with the audio exchange is this. Please hear me loud and clear. And I'm going to repeat it, don't you know? But hear me loud and clear. It's just a phone call. I will take some notes in my pad. I will not be analyzing it as much as the audios because I will not be recording it. This is a phone conversation between you and I, analyzing your problem, okay? This is why it's a lot less money. And I'm trying to help as many people as I can, and so I'm offering different options. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from. It's not that I'm going to be slacking or anything like that. It's just not going to be as thorough. Okay, I will still be on the phone call with you, obviously, and of course, and if you'd like me to record the phone conversation, I absolutely will. But the thing is, I will not go over it. I will not take additional notes. I will take the notes that I take on the phone call with you. I will give you my analysis live. I will tell you what I think you should do, and then we'll move on to the next phone call whenever we schedule it. And so you can schedule it, 2 days from now or 3 days from now. It's up to you. But that's 5 phone calls. So I added 3 packages like that. There's 5 phone calls, 10 phone calls, and 15 phone calls. So the difference is, again, I don't take extensive notes. I don't record an audio reply back. I give you live feedback. Okay? It's less money, and also I spend less time on it. I don't spend, for example, when I record an audio for each individual in my coaching, after taking notes, I spend some time, contemplating. There's a lot of time that goes into this. Contemplating what I should say, how I should say it. I mean, what is the direction I want to take in this coaching for this person? This is just a phone call with me, and I'm offering you what I think at that moment. There's no other thing that's happening other than you get me in that moment and what I think, right? Each phone call is about an hour long. Like I said, I usually go over. I can send you the tape, a copy if you wish to. And also, the other thing I was going to say, there is no time constraint. Whenever you get into coaching with me, if it's a monthly package, the time, the clock starts running, meaning you're in coaching with me for a month, on the mark of 1 month. And, sometimes I go over 1 or 2 days. I'm not, so strict. But essentially 1 month is 1 month, and that's the end of it. With the phone calls, when you purchase this package, it's whenever you want to use them, okay? And so lastly, make sure you click on all my products to see this on my website, by the way, because I just realized you need to kind of do that. The last package that I just included is the mini energy course. Okay, what is the mini energy course? This is for somebody advanced, okay? This is for somebody who basically either has been in my coaching or some kind of other coaching, or understands manifestation to such a degree where they kind of have it on a certain level. But it's the tricks of the trade that I do not share on my channel. I just don't. For a lot of people, this will be a little bit weird. I'm not going to lie, okay? But not for the people who really understand the energy work. And I just share what has worked for me, my tricks, and my personal techniques, and the techniques that I've shared with others in my coaching that have really worked. This is like a touch-up, you know? It's kind of like if you need the final oomph in your situation, you can take this course, and I will share with you the majesty of my tricks, if you will. This is not the entire coaching. This is just a touch. It's like the cherry on top, okay? So this is also available on my website. The link is below. If you have any questions, please contact me directly on my email, okay? Please remember that every package on my website comes with a coaching agreement. I'm not a therapist. You need to respect me. You don't have to rebuttal me. If you want real results and the change in your life, and most importantly, coaching fee is non-refundable. You cannot bombard me with messages and everything like that. That is perfectly reasonable to a reasonable person. You just need to sign it, print your name, and basically date it and scan it and send it back to me upon booking. All right. I really hope that I explained everything correctly. If you have any questions, you can comment below or message me on my email. My website now also contains my cell phone number. I can't wait how that turns out. But I figured I'll allow people to contact me because it's a lot easier to answer questions and this and that, okay? But please be respectful, and please, if you're really serious about coaching, if you're really serious about changing your life, absolutely, I would love to talk to you. If you don't understand what I'm about, please watch my other videos before, you ask me anything. Don't just watch one video, watch a couple, get to know me, and then, reach out to me and tell me about yourself, tell me about your problems. And like I said, I would love to help you. All right, today's subject is how your beliefs create other people. So in my coaching, if you go through my coaching, the long version of it, and long, but by long, I really mean not that long at all. It's like 2 to 3 or 4 months at best. Some people have stayed over that limit. It's not that. But in reality, if you really show up, if you really commit to yourself, to me, for at least 2 to 3 months, you will be so far ahead of the rest of population. It's not even funny. I'm not even bragging. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. I just know how it's done correctly. Okay? I don't dilly-dally. I don't procrastinate. I tell you how it is. I'm very straightforward. Oh yeah, that's the other clause in my agreement. I'm very straightforward. If you can't handle the truth, like Jack Nicholson said, it's like, forget about it. Like really, just the truth. Jerry Seinfeld said this one time. The truth is a lot of, pain is a lot of information all at once. Sometimes truth is painful. But you know what? It's information. It's information that helps you be on your jolly merry way to creating something better than you created before. And I've been a coach to many different people, financial status, celebrity status, you name it. Different people of all walks of life. And the best people I get along with are the ones that are receptive towards what I have to say. Because if you are, then you're going to do something with my coaching. If you're going to rebuttal me, question me, this and that, get offended, forget it. This is not the kind of situation. This is coaching. I'm allowed to tell you what I think. If you need a therapist you're going to cry to, who's not going to like move a muscle on their face and say, let's meet next week, same time, and not give you any feedback, be my fucking guest. Seriously, though. I think it's rather dreadful, though. I really do. I honestly want to say, like, if you have serious issues like depression, like severe depression, I mean, that you cannot control and this and that, yeah, please go and get therapy. But there's a reason why so many people are emailing me, so many people are resonating with me, because regular therapy just doesn't fucking cut it. It just doesn't. Feedback is a normal, way of life. And when you get no feedback, when you don't get any kind of understanding of what you go through, and you just being asked, how did it make you feel? How the fuck do you think it made me feel? Aren't you a human being? Are you a fucking robot? I mean, I took some therapy a long time ago, like 15 years ago or something. And I was done with it like maybe within 2 months, because I realized this is not even the answer, and I searched for answers and I got them. And this is what I'm here teaching people who will listen and maybe learn something. I don't know. Okay, got carried away. Sorry. How, how your beliefs create other people, or how to rework your beliefs. So beliefs is something that we work in my coaching extensively. And even when you think you're not working on it in my coaching, I'm still working on your beliefs. I'm asking you a ton of questions. I want to know everything. How you grew up, what was your financial status growing up, how did your mom grow up, how did your dad grow up? All these things, your relationship with your teachers, your first crush, situations that made you feel embarrassed. All of that was downloaded into your belief system, like on a very deep cellular level that you still reproducing till today. This is not woo-woo magic. This is just science, okay? And up until the age of 7, you're a wide open mind, okay? You reside in openness. And by the time you're 7, you've downloaded so much information in your brain that it just goes natural for you. Everything that happened around you, how your mom behaved, how your dad behaved, how it was that you perceived them, how you perceived your siblings, how you perceived your environment. It was all injected into you. This is the belief system, and voila, here you are, superstar. Yeah, certain beliefs can be added on, no doubt about it, later on, but the majority of them happen in childhood. It's you're being the observer, the helpless child in the middle of some kind of situation. You can't do anything about it. You're just there to download. And so on some level, you might say, well, I didn't have a choice. These were my parents. This is what kind of information I downloaded. And so now I'm victim to my beliefs. Even when you find out about your beliefs, you realize, oh yeah, this is it, and this is it, and yeah, I can see, because it basically goes into your subconscious on such a deep level that you reproduce them unwillingly. It seems like they are operating you, right? But in fact, it's that you don't know what they even are. And when you do, when you find out that through coaching, through understanding who you are, you start realizing a whole bunch of shit. And you really start, maybe you will even get angry on some level, because you will start realizing that those beliefs are not your own. It was never your choice to believe that, but you chose to believe those things because they were thrust upon you. That's it. In a sense, it's a fake identity that you borrowed from somebody else, maybe from plural people, different people on your journey, this one and that one, whoever impacted you, right? And so how do you create your people, the people in your world, is through your belief systems. Everybody is your mirror. They are your mirrors. The people that you create, the way that you create them, is from your expectancy of them to be that way. Now, you might not realize it on a conscious level. A lot happens on the subconscious level that you don't even realize. The idea is to bring those beliefs to the surface and to drop the bullshit and be completely honest with yourself. So when a coach challenges you to be honest and to not rebuttal her, let her dive in deep with these fucking beliefs so that you can get rid of them once and for all. They don't serve you. The reason why is because obviously the projection of those beliefs has been painful in your life. So at any time, if you experience some painful encounter, whether that's with an SP or, I don't know, a friend or a coworker or a business partner, not only you don't benefit, but the rest of the universe doesn't benefit. Nobody wants you to be miserable. Let me just make this clear. Nobody wants you to be miserable. So you kind of like delaying a lot of things for yourself, not examining what it is you need to examine. Because you can say, okay, let's take an SP for example. Okay, this person came into my life and it was good for a while, but then it turned to shit. Okay, I will challenge you and say, my darling, first of all, nothing turns to shit that is initially good. So if it turned to shit, it was originally shit, a shitty creation. That's one. Two, you created that SP out of your belief system that doesn't serve you. Okay, how did you do that? That really calls for examination of what it is you initially put into the system. You're putting in certain things into the system which are your beliefs, and you're complaining about the reproductions of your beliefs. Okay, I'll give you an example to illustrate this so that people don't get very confused about what I'm saying. For example, the other day I had this client. He said, you should write a book and it should be titled When I Was Modeling in New York. Because everything I say, all the examples I say from before was when I was modeling in New York. Well, I was modeling in New York. Oh, this will be a funny audio. Everyone I would meet would be a photographer or another model, right? Or some stylist. This was my world. Every single person. And you might say, well, maybe that was a coincidence and maybe like some photographer was hitting on you. First of all, yeah, there was some like that, but not really. Like it was literally like I would just bump into people who were fucking photographers or models or artistic directors or, everything to do with the fashion industry essentially, or buyers or this and that. And it was like the whole world was mirroring me. This is what I was kind of like doing. When I started my own business, everyone I started meeting was an entrepreneur, was somebody who started a business or thinking about starting a business or was in business for a long time or had some advice from me or was a millionaire or in some cases billionaire or this and that and the other. It was a projection of my own mind. That's it. We create people with our own expectancy and beliefs. The consciousness that creates the people that you encounter at that moment is a direct reflection what those people consist of. So if you're a certain way, if you're in dysfunction, uncertain of your future, insecure, don't have the job you want, unhappy about your looks, la 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 la, guess fucking what? You're going to encounter some person that has the same issues, maybe worse, don't know, or something that you expect based on your childhood, depending how active all of this energy is within you. Because look at, energy doesn't go anywhere. I have news for you. Beliefs are not just like beliefs, like, 10 commandments, you go and it's like a Bible or something, it's like da 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 da. No. Beliefs are fucking energy. They're energy. They're vibrating on a certain frequency, and they are infused into your body on such a deep level that on automatic pilot you attract certain people, circumstances, and events. Sounds familiar? Yeah, because it's true. Same thing about your thoughts. Everything is vibrating on a certain level. I don't need to think about which is why, like, I make fun of people who are into affirmations so badly that they have to repeat them like 10,000 times a day. Oh my God. Yeah. First of all, who the fuck has time like that? But that's another story for another time. It doesn't matter how much you affirm. If your energy doesn't shift, if you're like one of these people in a crazy house, I'm sorry, but who needs to affirm 10,000 times a day, yeah, you've got bigger issues. I'm sorry. It needs to like happen on the internet that somebody says it, that this is not the answer. People are coming up with stupid shit for people to be taken advantage of, thinking into this stupid bullshit. It doesn't work like that. The internal work is the work, and it doesn't happen with affirmations. Okay, I gave this example a long time ago. I don't remember which audio it was, but if you put shit on the most delicious food, it's still shit on the most delicious food. So you can start thinking that there is no shit on your food, which represents the beliefs, okay? And I'm sorry to gross some people out, but that's exactly what it is. And cover it up with like flowery affirmations, when in fact, the shit on your food is your stupid beliefs, okay? That prevent you from having a nice 5-course meal at a 5-star restaurant, okay? Sorry, not sorry. And so at some point, if you do the belief work, and this is so important, I'm going to drive this point home tonight because this is the work. Forget everything else. SP is the least of your fucking problems. Can I tell you something? It's not about your fucking SP. A lot, like 90% of the people who reach out to me via YouTube are about SP, more or less. I would say 85, something like that % Only 25 of them, I'm like, how do I make my career and how do I make my money? All right. But for the most part, it's the SP people. And I understand. I understand. But look at how this goes. The SP gave you the signal that you are out of alignment. It triggered you so much that you were like, whoa, I'm hurt. They left me. They divorced me. They did this, that, and the other towards me. And you think the person is responsible. You think this person is such a fucking, mother of God. What motherfucker. And in fact, it's not. It's just a creation. No. It's just a creation. The SP is the least of your problems. This is why not a lot of people manifest their SP back, from what I can tell on other channels, when they're crying and begging and watching these 500 million YouTube channels. because they're so addicted to the problem they can't see their way to the solution. And the solution is themselves. So the ESP prompted you that you have a problem. There is that. Okay? They're not the motherfucker. They are a messenger to what you need to work on. Right? And what you need to work on is yourself. Name me a situation under the sun other than they were abusive. Okay? That's where I draw the line. To be perfectly honest, I don't have the tolerance for this kind of bullshit. Name a situation and it can be fixed with your SP. Why? Because the originator of the problem, or the projector of the problem rather, is your consciousness. And the consciousness you can change through the belief work. Now here's the deal. And this is why a lot of people out there, not in my coaching, I attract the most wonderful people for the most part. I really have to give a shout out to my clients. And I know they're listening. You guys are fucking gangster squad. You're amazing is what it is. Because 99.99% of people who come into my coaching, they're like, give it to me. Give me everything you've got and I'll work on it and, I'll deliver. Which is marvelous. And I admire people like that because not a lot of people out there are like that. And I'm actually quite flattered, to be honest, that I do attract people like that because I just don't have time for anything else, to be honest. But when you start working on your beliefs, you realize that it's going to be uncomfortable. It just is. The new is always uncomfortable. You're not used to it. Obviously, it's going to be uncomfortable. What else? You've been doing some other shit for X number of years, for decades maybe. What the fuck you think is going to happen? Like, you're going to jump right into it and it's going to be hunky-dory? Yeah, this is why some people rebuttal me. It's uncomfortable. It's not familiar. It takes work. It takes some kind of like reconsideration of things, of how you used to do it. But guess what? That's how change happens. If right now you're sitting there and you've got these beliefs that make you fear, make you insecure, make you doubt yourself, make you think of yourself any less, make you think that the life is over and this is it, I will never get my chance. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. It's just a belief. It's just a fucking belief. Now you gotta examine it where it's coming from. But I'll tell you something else. Get ready. If you work on your beliefs, there will come a day where you're going to be a lot more comfortable believing the good rather than the bad. Right now, it will be reversed for you, probably. But there will come a time when the old belief might pop up. There's a transition. You have to put in the work, like I say. But there will come a time, 2 to 3 months from my coaching, and I'm not kidding, actually. I really am not. Where the transition will begin and you will start buying into the good, expecting the good, believing in the good rather than the bad. Because that's actually what's supposed to happen. And most people on planet Earth do not have that. They don't. They just don't. For whatever reason, they were conditioned one way or the other to expect something horrible. And you don't have to be one of these people. It does take time to adjust to that. But we are always evolving. We're always evolving. I'll give you an example. This morning, I took my dog for a walk. And I don't know how to explain it. But I'm always working on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Obviously, I'm a coach, I'm an entrepreneur, and also evolve in my own journey. And I have my own goals, my own scripting, and my own mini goals. For those of you in my coaching know exactly what I'm talking about. And this morning I got up and it was like the desired reality that I'm creating right now was here energetically. I have been creating it for about a couple of months, I would say, maybe a month and a half. And now it's here and I feel it. The first thing is that I feel it. My beliefs have shifted in the right direction for it to manifest. You never stop working on your beliefs, by the way. You constantly upgrade. It's like an iPhone. You keep upgrading towards the next model and the next model and the next model after that. But this morning, as I was walking my dog, I felt I have it. This is it. I have the essence. I'm feeling it. I'm vibrating it. I'm fucking there. And that's what you have to do. And once you have it, that's it. Your manifestations are there. You're a different person. You've become a different person. You don't need to ask anybody. You don't need to chase anybody. You don't need to have anybody's validation. It just dawns upon you. You work towards it, and bam. One morning you wake up and it's there. Because here's the deal. The way you work on your beliefs is you make your dreams a stationary world. And you make it normal, most important. Let me give you an example for those who don't understand what I mean. If you were to walk into a living room, and you said, all right, how am I going to decorate this room? What color are the walls? Are they white? Are they blue? Are they pink? I don't know. Are they green? I don't know. What shade of white? What color are the furniture pieces? Is there a rug? These kinds of situations. What is the palette? In the same way, you decorate your life in your imagination. You make certain things stationary. You say, this is where the bed goes, this is where the couch goes, this is where the chair goes. And that's how it is. And first, you create it in your imagination. But then, over and over, you go over those things in your head. And then it becomes like, it comes about. It just has no choice but to. I hope I explained this correctly. And so, to finalize my topic of how your beliefs create other people, your expectancy, your beliefs, your energy. Okay? If someone has been an asshole to you, unaccommodating, whatever the situation is right now, you're not together, they're not the problem, you're the problem. Like I say, always, unless they've been abusive to you. Nobody should be abusive towards anybody, ever. But if they've just been disagreeable with you, or not accommodating, or not exactly what you want them to be, it came from your beliefs. And may I say, parenthesis here, even the abusive people basically teach you something about what you've got going on inside. Because, it's like this. If you respected yourself, if you were not insecure, if you were completely coherent with the ideal self and didn't believe something wrong about yourself that isn't true, you would not have attracted or kept this person around in the first place. It's the utter truth. And so energetically, if you're bleeding, the shark can smell the blood. And the abusers are, they work that way. You attract everybody energetically. So if you are not respecting yourself, think of yourself any less, you attract the wrong kinds of people at that moment in time. And so the idea is, again, to realize, why did you create that? What kinds of beliefs and circumstances surrounded the situation? To get anything or any kind of person is rather simple, may I say. It's energy. Match with it energetically. Match with that person energetically. And by energy, I really do mean beliefs. Because like I discussed earlier, beliefs are tied to, with energy. There's an energetic vibration that is constantly radiating out of you based on your beliefs. So match with the beliefs that you want to have, completely insert them into your existence, into your consciousness, work on them. Provided that you've done the work on that, your energy will change, it will shift. And once you match the energy of these new experiences, these new people that you want to encounter, or different version of that person even. For example, you don't have to welcome back the abuser into your life, but maybe at the very least, you can get an apology from them. I've had those cases. They don't want the abuser back, no way, but they've gotten an apology from them, right? Or if it's not an abuser, it's somebody, there was some misunderstanding or some quarrel and this and that. They gotten back together because they figured their shit out, but because you did the work on yourself, because you elevated in frequency, you became magnetic towards something completely different. You're always magnetic. It just depends on what to. So, in other words, the entire shebang, the entire theater of your world is just you in different parts. It's like if you split up in different people and they were acting out their situations, it's basically your consciousness split in different parts and you're just observing. The entire time you're observing your consciousness and suffering because of your not understanding that it's actually you who creates all of this. When and a lot of people struggle with this in my coaching even, and they say, how is it that I'm so powerful? Because a lot of people are taught like, you're not that significant, you're not good enough and this and that. And now all of a sudden I'm introducing this concept to them that like, you are all powerful. You are the power in the universe of you. And it's a struggle for them to download it. But once you do, it becomes quite easy. It does. Because even when you fuck up or do some kind of like shitty manifestation, you say, oh yeah, I know how I created it. I know exactly how I created it, and I know how to create something else now. I know how to uncreate it, recreate it, and do other things with it. And so once you really download that all people are you, it becomes a lot easier. Here's a belief, or rather an affirmation I'd like to leave you with, which probably the same thing, belief, affirmation. Whatever I do, think, or say, my desires are here to stay. Make your dreams and dream world stationary and normal. Work on that. The belief system is usually out of whack because of some trauma. And I've dealt with that a lot in my coaching, and I can talk about it for hours. But make your dreams and dream worlds stationary and normal. And just say, whatever I do, think, or say, my desires are here to stay. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. All the information from me is below. And email me if you have any questions. Thank you, and ciao, ciao.